All right, we're going to make a short video here to review briefly what I refer to as my secret decoder ring to Buddhist doctrine. It's a very brief, but I think pretty effective. So first we have the three jewels, or the three refuges. I take refuge in the Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. I take refuge in the Sangha. That's important. The Dharma is the body of the Buddha's teaching, which is a reflection of the Buddha himself. So the Buddha is the Dharma is the Buddha. The Dharma, therefore, is the doctrine. And the Dharma is essentially the Four Noble Truths. The first noble truth, of course, is that life is suffering, dukkha. But not so much Holocaust-type suffering, although that is suffering, as dissatisfaction or dis-ease with the way things are. Another part of the human condition is anatta, which means no soul, or anatman in Sanskrit. We have no permanent soul, no permanent identity. Well, if we don't, then what are we? Buddhist teaching teaches that we're five skandhas, five sort of threads bound together: sense, perception, thought, feeling, and from all of this comes consciousness. We're all those things, but we're not a permanent identity. We're more like a stream, water in a stream, flowing. So we're not the same from minute to minute, or we're like a flame burning. All of these things interact differently from moment to moment, so there's no permanent soul. The third condition of human existence is anicca, which means impermanence or change. It's constantly changing, reflecting what I just said about the skandhas. These three things, dukkha, anatta, anicca, are referred to as the three marks of existence and reflect the first noble truth. The second noble truth is that suffering has a cause, and essentially the cause is ignorance. Ignorance of the fact that we don't have a soul, and ignorance that the universe is constantly changing, ignorance of the way things really are. And this ignorance leads to tanha, which is craving or desire, and aversion, which is the flip side of desire. Tanha is wanting a $300 pair of blue jeans that you think are going to make you a better person. Aversion is not wanting to be caught dead wearing a pair of Wrangler jeans. So the flip side of the same thing. And they're both really the result of ignorance. But ignorance, tanha, and aversion together are referred to as the three poisons. The third noble truth is that there is a cessation of suffering. Nirvana is potential, which would extinguish our no soul and end samsara, end our constant rebirth in samsara based on karma. The karma connection is very much in Buddhism like it is in Hinduism, and Buddhists are concerned about accruing good karma as well. And the fourth noble truth is that there is a path to the cessation of suffering, the noble eightfold path: right understanding, right thought. What is right thought? Well, it's sometimes referred to as right intent. So if I'm being nice to someone to manipulate them into doing something for me, that's not the right intent, even though it's the right, I'm doing the right thing, it's for the wrong intent. That's what thought means. Right speech. Is your speech hurtful or helpful? Is it idle, gossip? Right action. That's pretty obvious. Right livelihood. Does it promote life rather than destroying it? Being a hitman would probably violate that. Right effort. This is hard. You've got to exercise your will to do the right thing. And right mindfulness, paying attention to what you're doing, to what is, to the present moment. And right concentration. That's a little different. Right concentration really is about strengthening your concentration muscle, which will help with mindfulness. It's about right meditation. Now, this is the usual, the most common translations of these words, and this is the usual order. And you can, UT Salem C is the best I can come up with for an anagram. It helps to break down these 8 things into three categories. 1 and 2 are wisdom, panya, right understanding and right thought. 3, 4, and 5 deal with how we interact with others. It's moral conduct, or sila in Pali. And 6, 7, and 8 are about mental concentration. Also, sort of breaking these down into, well, what do we do? Just like the Jews have the 10 Commandments, but don't lie. Well, what does that mean exactly? Well, they have to have this elaborate interpretation of what that means in the Talmud. So Buddhists have the 5 precepts to guide their moral conduct, summarizing 3, 4, and 5. They are against harming living things, taking what is not given, stealing, sexual misconduct, misusing sexual relations, lying or gossip, and taking or abusing intoxicating substances. Those are the 5 precepts summarizing 3, 4, and 5. And that is the decoder ring to Buddhist doctrine.